Okay, this time I want to talk about what makes us heroes or heroines. What is the stuff of heroes? And like as I like to point out, sometimes it's not really what we think. It's general use to think about heroism as being taking risks, risking our lives in some dangerous situations and overcoming fear. That's courage, and heroes are full of it. Okay, but if it were just like that, then gangsters, then some murderous psychopaths would be heroes. Probably they are not. So there is something extra. And the extra, I believe, it's mostly that real heroes are at the service of the human collective, of the population. They are doing their best, they are risking their lives or their comfort or their careers or their well-being, generally speaking, or their survival in the middle to long term, because they are at the service of something that to them is worthwhile, their effort, their sacrifice, the loss of many important things, namely, eventually, their life. This means they are really sacrificing themselves many times. They are bring the best they can do. They are overcoming fear, several kinds of fear in several different possible areas to help others, to help humanity even. We can see that from some military heroes who obviously risk their lives at the service of the army. They belong to their comrades, to their friends, but sometimes to other people in different contexts. They do their best. They try to protect the populations, sometimes the country, and so on. They have this bigger thing that they are serving. But we also have civilian heroes like firemen, firewomen, like intellectuals sometimes, scientists that do risk their lives or their careers, their comfort, and so on, trying to help the collective. Actually, it's not hard for me to recall names like Snowden or Assange or Chelsea Manning as recent civilian heroes in a way, because they actually knew they were taking big risks, because they were trying to convey to the public secrets, government secrets, namely that they thought we should know about, because they were showing governments to be doing quite important misdeeds against democracy, against transparency, against the populations, against even our chances at really trusting them. And those were big risks also from civilians. But again, at the service of truth, at the service of democracy, I would say, and at the service of ethics. Ethics is one major reference when someone becomes a hero. The heroes we do remember historically are, generally speaking, humans who did something very important with high risks, but at the service of science, democracy, the country, the population, at the service of health, general knowledge, and so on. This is the main idea there. So we also have chances at becoming heroes or heroines in our little lives, to the extent that we might be ready to sacrifice something, eventually taking bigger risks at the service of things we deem really important. And of course, recently, we have seen lots of it from people trying to assert what they think is reality, is truth, even against general public opinions about what is truth, even sometimes against what the media would be telling them, sometimes against even what their friends would be telling them, just because they were trying to do their best at the service of the human collective. This is the idea for today, because I think it's important for us to keep in mind this connection between real heroism and the service of humanity. And therefore, this implies all the time that underlying heroism, we also have love. Love for the planet, love for humanity, love for values such as freedom and democracy, but love. So heroism has a tendency to have underlying love. As usual, if you like this, share, comment, subscribe to the channel.